Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about stop chasing that woman and see what happens. So if you have been chasing a woman and she basically hasn't been reciprocating interest, perhaps she's put you in friend zone, perhaps it's a woman that you were actually in a relationship with and she's dumped you. So basically, in some form, this woman in question has rejected you. Okay. And it seems like no matter what you do, so no matter how much you message, no matter how much you apologize, no matter how much you convince her or try to convince her, try to rationalize with her, she just still isn't taking any interest in you whatsoever. And she's still not reciprocating interest. She's still not interested in getting back together with you, or she's still putting you in friend zone, whatever it may be. Right, so if this is happening to you, the best thing for you to do is to stop chasing her immediately, because it's definitely not working. Okay, because sometimes when you break up with a woman, you chase her a lot because you think that, oh yeah, if I need to do something, I need to take some form of action to get to resolve this, to fix this. So I need to send her the perfect text. I need to ask my female friends or my sister about what I should say, and then your sister or one of your female friends gives you some like really stupid advice that, oh yeah, you should just talk to her, you should just tell her how you feel, right? And what happens then? You get rejected even further. So the only option then is that obviously what you've been doing hasn't been working, right? So chasing her hasn't been working. Messaging her, calling her up, apologizing, whatever it may be, has not been working, okay? So if that doesn't work, then the only thing you can do is the opposite, which is to not do that stuff anymore. Okay, so not calling her, not texting her, not apologizing every other day, hoping that that's going to somehow resolve things and that's going to somehow fix things that makes her not want to be with you. Doing that in the past hasn't worked out, so the only option is to do the opposite, is to go into no contact, to walk away, to be firm, to be strong, because clearly this other stuff hasn't worked, right? Has it ever, because this is a good question to ask yourself, when I've chased a woman, when I've really heavily pursued a woman, has it ever really worked in my favor before? And usually the answer is no, especially if you're dealing with a woman that has low interest in you. So, for example, a woman that's already dumped you, or a woman that's rejected you and put you in friend zone. Right? Sometimes if you pursue a woman heavily, and she feels the same way about you, and she feels the same intensity towards you, then it's fine. It doesn't really matter that much. Although sometimes even that can put women off you, even women that are really enthusiastic about you, if you're over pursuing and basically coming on too strong. So if you guys have mutual interest, then usually that's fine. It doesn't matter if you mess up a couple of times by texting too much or confessing how you feel too soon, all those kinds of things that usually lead to rejection with women with low interest, right? But when you are dealing with a woman with low interest and you're doing these things, it pushes her away from you even further, when if you just acted more cool and collected and didn't need to constantly try and figure out where you stand with this woman all the time, things may have actually worked out, right? If you'd been more, if you'd allowed her time and space to get to know you, to feel those things for you, or gave her time and space away from you if she dumped you, then she might have came back. But because you heavily pursued her, because you were trying to fix things, you're trying to rationalize with her, trying to get her to think logically, right, about the situation, because logically you might be the perfect guy for her on paper. Logically, you might be the only guy in her life that makes sense. But unfortunately, women go by how they feel and their emotions. They don't go by how much it makes sense to be with you. Because if she's not feeling it, then there's no way it's going to happen. If she doesn't feel like she wants to be around you, if she doesn't feel attraction for you, if she doesn't feel like you're the guy for her, then no amount of you convincing her on paper, you could give her like 100 reasons as to why you're the perfect guy, right? And logically it could make perfect sense. But if she doesn't have feelings for you, then it's just not going to happen. Right? Just imagine if a woman came up to you and she was a woman that you weren't attracted to, you weren't interested in, and she gave you 100 reasons as to why you two should be together. You're not gonna still date her because you're not attracted to her. You don't feel that way about her. So of course it makes sense that women are the same in that regard. They go by their emotions very, very heavily, usually more so than men. So if you go to her with a logical mind, saying, look, it makes sense for us to be together. I've got all these reasons as to why we should be together. I do this, I have this income, I'm relatively good looking, I'm a nice guy, whatever it may be. It's not going to make sense to her if she doesn't feel that way towards you, right? So if you want to get a woman's attention, right, especially a woman's attention that you've already had a thing for a while and she knows about it, or it's an ex, right? The best thing for you to do is to do the opposite of that and to go into no contact with her and to not speak to her anymore, because she knows how you feel. She knows where you stand with her. You don't have to keep on reminding her that you like her romantically. She knows, right? She knows, because if it's an ex, you were once together, when she broke up with you, you wanted to get back together with her. She knows that, right? Or if it's a girl that's friend zoned you, the reason you're friend zoned is because you've probably said to her, "Hey, look, I'm interested in you," and she's like, "No, thanks, I only see you as a friend," right? So she knows how you feel. You don't need to do any more. You've done enough. If she knows how you feel and you've expressed that in one way or another, she knows. You don't have to do any more, right? Because no amount of you liking her, right, and you confessing how much you like her is going to make her run back in your arms if she doesn't feel the same way. So how do you get her to feel the same way? Well, the only option that you have to actually have a chance at this is to walk away and to go into no contact, so she has time to miss you, right? Because like what I always say, she can't miss you if you're always in her DMs, if you're always if you're messaging her, if you're always calling her up. She can't miss you if you're doing that kind of stuff, because you're too familiar, you're always there. So the way you get someone to miss you is by going into no contact and walking away, and by not talking to her anymore, by not blowing up her phone all the time, right? In fact, you do zero of that anymore. So when she looks at her phone, when it comes to you, her phone should be a blank screen. She should be getting no notifications from you. When she opens up her stories on Instagram or Facebook, your little icon shouldn't be there as one of the people that's viewed her story. She shouldn't be seeing these things, okay? She shouldn't be getting messages from you. It should be completely nothing. Zilch, nada. Right? Okay? Now, of course, if she has no interest in you whatsoever anymore, let's say she previously did, or let's say it's a woman who's friend zoned you, if she doesn't feel it for you, then no amount of no contact is actually going to bring her back, is going to make her more interested in you. Because if she's lost feelings for you, or she never had feelings for you to begin with, when you walk out of her life, she's not going to care anymore. She's going to be like, okay, she's just going to let it be, right? In fact, she may even be glad that you're gone if you've been heavily pursuing her and not been leaving her alone, okay? But a woman that does care about you, that does have feelings for you, that is attracted to you, you can easily call her bluff, right? Because she may say, "Oh, I don't like you," or "I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm not interested in being in a relationship with you." Call her bluff by going into no contact and walking away. Just accept that and be like, "Okay, you're saying you don't have feelings for me. You're saying you don't want to be with me. So, okay, that's fine. Good luck with your life. I'm going to go and find a woman that does love me, that does want to be with me." Right? And when she hasn't heard from you in a while, if she loves you, if she cares about you, she's going to reach out. She eventually will get in touch with you because she misses you. Okay? But she can't miss you if you're always talking to her. Now, like I said, if you're dealing with a woman that has lost all feelings for you, is no longer attracted to you physically, no longer loves you, if she did love you in the past, then you're just never going to hear from her again. And what I'm trying to convey to you as well is that both of those things are good. If she loves you, then great, she'll just come back. And if she doesn't love you, then, well, you'll just find someone better. So no matter what, all these options are for your benefit, okay? I know sometimes it may not seem like that, especially if you're really desperate for her. But if you are really desperate for her, then I encourage you to work on your self-esteem. I encourage you to work on your confidence. Because if you are trying to get a woman who doesn't want you, right, and you're trying to basically be in her life even though she doesn't want you, even though she's constantly rejecting you, there's probably some subconscious thing going on with you that feels like you deserve rejection. Because someone who has self-respect, a man who has self-respect for himself, when a woman rejects him, when a woman dumps him, he's like, okay, that's fine. I want to be with someone who wants to be with me. And if you don't want to be with me, then, well, I'm going to go and find a woman who does want to be with me. And then they go on with their merry way. Yeah, sure, it may hurt their feelings, sure, it may suck for them, but they're not going to constantly chase a woman, right, or try and fix things with her, because they have that self-respect. If a woman doesn't want them, they simply walk away. They go into no contact, and they're calling her bluff, because if she does still have feelings for him, he knows that she will come back, okay? It's like that old cliche saying, if you really love someone, set them free. And if they do love you, they'll come back in some shape or form. That's a really weird paraphrased version of that saying. But and the reason why it's a cliche saying, it's because there's some element of truth to it. If you do let someone go, they will come back and be in your life if they really love you, care about you, miss you, and value you as a person. Okay? So stop chasing, right? Because when you do, you're going to see how this woman feels about you, right? You're going to see if she cares about you or not. And either way, both of those options are good. So she doesn't care about you, that's good. If she does care about you, that's good, because you either get her back or you just find a better woman. And that's the dealio. That's how things work. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you would like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. And I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.